A Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder, Chapter 6, Part 2. Hannah spotted Danielle Watson from across the room. She was a part of a group that contained her husband, Marge Beesman, Father Cultus, Bonnie Surma, and Al Percy. Danielle was wearing an ice blue dress, and her light blonde hair was arranged in a fashionable twist at the nape of her neck. Several feathery curls hung down near her cheeks to make her hairstyle less severe, and her lips were colored with a lipstick that Hannah now recognized as Pretty Girl's Pink Passion. Hannah moved forward and joined the fringes of the group. The topic of conversation was Ron Lascelles, and that didn't surprise her. Ron's murder was the biggest news to hit Lake Eden since little Tommy Benson had released the brake on his mother's Ford Escort and crashed through the plate glass window of the First Mercantile Bank. "My hubby says he was shot clean through the heart," Mrs. Beesman offered her tidbit of gossip. "Now Max is going to have to reupholster the truck because there was blood all over the place." Coach Watson looked sad. "It's a terrible loss for the Gulls. Ron came to every practice and he was a real inspiration." "Do you suppose it was some kind of sports vendetta?" Al Percy asked, his dark bushy eyebrows almost meeting in a frown. After all, Ron was the Gulls' star player for 3 years in a row. Father Cultus shook his head. "That doesn't make sense, Al. Everybody liked Ron, even the boys on the opposing teams." "You're right, Father." Coach Watson was quick to agree. Ron was popular because he played fair. Al continued to frown, and Hannah could see that he wasn't ready to give up his sports vendetta theory quite yet. "Maybe it didn't have anything to do with high school sports. From what I heard, it was an execution-style killing, and that sure smacks of bent-nose types to me." "Bent nose?" Bonnie Surma bristled, and Hannah remembered that her maiden name had been Pennelly. "Are you talking about the Mafia?" Al nodded. "It's not possible, Bonnie. Everybody knows that they run the sports books, and they could have recruited Ron to pick up bets with his milk orders. If Ron's stake came up short, they might have put out a hit on him." "You're crazy, Al." Marge Beesman obviously didn't believe in mincing words. "Ron was one of ours, and he never would have done something like that. Besides, my hubby says that mafia hitmen always shoot their victims in the back of the head, or they use that wire thing to choke them, like they did in The Godfather." As Hannah watched, Danielle's naturally pale face turned a shade of sickly grey. The polite smile on her face crumpled, and she looked as if she were struggling not to burst into tears. She turned to her husband, whispered a few words, and then she left the group. Hannah watched her as she pushed her way through the crowded room and headed out into the hallway that led to the ladies' room. This was her chance, and Hannah wasn't about to waste it. She set off after Danielle as fast as she could. Once she'd gained the hallway, Hannah headed straight for the ladies' room with only one purpose in mind. She had to find out exactly what Danielle knew about Ron's murder.